Ladies and gentlemen, strap yourselves in because we got a weird one. Guys, the chicken is here, back to another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, we're back in the dev build. We are going over your Season 47 Sneak Peek. And, man, I don't know. If you guys didn't like last season, then you're in for a great treat because this season is pretty well the opposite of last season, going on the extreme end. So, guys, you haven't already, appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel, and also if you're going to grab instant training or anything for the season, I do appreciate it if you throw in that code chicken in the shop. I know I say it a lot, but it does help out the channel, so thank you guys for those of you that do that. So, we're going to go over the tech tree, the deck layouts, the season stats, and everything in between. So let's just dive into it. Let's get right into it here. So starting off, we have a very strange tech tree. A lot of different things that we have not seen before in the past, namely rocket choppers at 2 ERs, okay? Now, the biggest thing about this season is, before we even get into this, which is crazy in and of itself, let's take a look at the season stats here right out of the gate. So troop health, 150%, gun butt energy, 150%, DBD 100%, troop damage 100%, building health 50%. Now watch this. The building health is 50%, sure. Look where it is. It's at the absolute end of so the entire season is basically played without any building health. Okay? So if you didn't like the fizzle meta last season, welcome to the 2-second meta. That is going to be Season 47. But I'm not saying that in a bad way. I think it's going to be fun, and everyone's going to be able to play. This is going to be a great season if you don't have instant training, or if you don't want to get instant training. It's going to be a great season for that because your troops are not going to die that much. Now, that being said, let's take a look at what we're starting off with. So we've got rifles, we've got Zookas, we've got mines, we've got flares, we've got troop health, we got GBE, we've got mortars. Now, the thing is, we've got rocket choppers, right? What is going to stop rocket choppers here? What are we looking at? Cannons? No. Boom cannons? A little bit, but we've got shock bombs before that. We've got more GBE than we had last season at 6 ERs, at 3 ERs. If we keep moving forward, we've got troop health, we've got heavies, we've got mechs, we've got brick. You know, we've got a lot of stuff that's going to help. You know, we got Kavan right after 3. That's a required unlock. Now, Kavan's not going to do much for rocket choppers, but still, wow. Totally offensive. It looks like we're going to need to skip the defensive stuff when we look at this. So let's keep looking. We'll go over everything. So first, multinode. Thank you, Hammerman, for explaining what the multinodes are. This is one of the worst. This is probably the worst multinode in the history of warships if we look at things on a large scale. 1 mortar, 1 cannon, or 1 sniper tower, okay? Anyways, let's move on. So we've got grenadiers. We've got our first DVD. Now, I know we're saying offense. The cannons and the boom cannons and the regular cannons are going to kill some troops. I did do some experimental attacks, which are no longer on the screen here. And I was going against Op Destroy, and it was, it was easy. I was free clearing, but, if you just let them go, like, they are going to die, which I don't know. Maybe that doesn't say too much. But after flamethrowers, we've got another terrible multinode. For some reason, we have 8 mines, which is kind of cool. I guess I like I like that they doubled up the mines. 4 regular mines was always kind of stupid, but, they doubled up the mines in the season that everyone's going to be using rocket choppers, so interesting choice. As we move forward, we've got our 5th ER over here. Now, at 5 ERs, we get the choice to unlock troop health, boom mines, heavies, mechs, tanks, DBD. Not really a lot of stuff. Again, that's going to slow down the rocket choppers at all, it looks like. The rocket launchers are going to help, but, I mean, we got to think of it this way, right? We've got the RCs, and we've got shocks, and we've got tons of GB. So I don't really see anything that's slowing down the rocket choppers, really, at this point. And I guess now would be a good time to bring up the decks, so we'll throw those up on the screen. Nothing really too crazy in terms of the deck layouts. They're pretty well standard. The one thing is, I think there's one deck that's got a double ramp that we wouldn't typically see. But I think, for the most part, there's very large gaps in these decks. So it's going to be pretty favorable, again, to rocket choppers. So I think it's a race to rocket choppers, and then it's just a race forward. So let's keep moving. So as we move forward throughout the tech tree here, we got DBD, we got warriors, rocket launchers, scorchers, another pretty bad multinode that people probably aren't going to go back for till the very end. Scorchers could be okay. They could be okay at this point. We're going to have to get them, so hopefully we can make something out of them. Doom Cannon is probably going to be the thing of choice here. But the biggest thing is we still have no building health at this point, right? There's no building health. Now, we have shock mines. I don't believe we have shock. Yeah, shock. So here we go again. We've got bullet, we've got troop damage, we've got artillery, and we've got seekers, all together in one. And the only thing that's going to stop them is shock mines. Nothing else is going to do anything because there's no building health, right? So that's going to be interesting. Now, the one good thing they did this season was they put critter launchers after 5ER, which is what we were talking about. Now, I don't want to get up here and be like, you know, like I said to do this or I said to do that. I don't care about that. I want the season to be good for everybody. I think this is a great spot for critter launchers. Whether they do that every season, I don't care. Just don't put critter launchers at 2ER with a bunch of defensive building damage. That was the takeaway, you know, from last season. So I'm glad they're there. So moving forward, we also have bombardiers. Bombardiers are great when we have fizzle metas, right? They're great when we typically have the really bad 4ERs with a bunch of rocket launchers and we don't have shock bombs or really anything to counteract any of the defenses. Bombardiers are great because they outrange a lot of that stuff, right? Bombardiers, I feel like, you know, things are going to change, but I feel like this season they're not going to be the greatest choice, especially where they're at, because we can go seekers, we can go straight to 6, we can skip bombardiers. We have another weird multi-node with mines. 3 shock mines is interesting. I wonder why they changed that. Like, what was the thought process behind? You know, we're going to increase the mines by 1 on each tick. But anyways, I think going the bottom path with seekers makes a lot more sense. You know, when we're this late in the tech tree, it's hard to predict or say what's going to be good, what's going to be bad. But I don't know. Yeah, it's just it's very. It seems like, anyways, it's very offensive heavy. So then as we move forward from 6, we finally got our shock launchers. We also have barrage. We've got critters up here. This multi-node is going to contain some level 2 prototypes, so they're starting to get a little bit stronger. This multi-node over here is going to have our first sky shield. We also have laser rangers. Things are going to get interesting, really interesting this season between 6 and 7. That's where you're kind of, you know, playing your path. Now, I think for most people, going to heavy choppers first, right into 7 makes sense because we probably want to get to the building health first. If you get to early building health, you're probably looking at a good finish. If you delay a bunch of stuff to get to the building health, probably not looking at a great finish. Look at this. We got another weird mine node. We got 12 mines, 12 regular mines, 4 boom mines, 4 shock mines. It's just funny how they switch up, you know, little things like that. But honestly, I'm excited for this season. It's going to be very offensive heavy. I think at the beginning, especially, it's going to, like, don't let the takeaway from this be like, oh my god, it's too offensive and there's not enough defense and it's going to, you know, be a 1-2 second meta for the entire season. I don't think that's actually true. I think what's going to happen is that's going to be true for the first little bit, but we're going to move forward quickly from that, right? We're going to move on. We're going to get to the middle of the tech tree. We're going to get to the end of the tech tree, and things are going to get a lot more defensive, especially we've got a lot of DBDs. So, I mean, the rockets are going to hit hard. Sniper towers are going to hit hard. We've got cannons. We've got boom cannons. We have, you know, some potential multi-nodes that are going to hit the rocket choppers too. So, and honestly, I was going against OP earlier in some of these matches, which I'll try to go more in depth on tomorrow, but I fizzled a couple times at 3 yard. Now, that was because I wasn't attacking properly, but still, it's not as simple as just throw the rocket choppers down, splash a couple shocks, and then you're good to go from what we've seen. But yeah, man, it's going to be interesting. Definitely, I think we can say it's unequivocally definitely better than last season across the board. Hopefully there's no bugs. There shouldn't be because there was no update. But yeah, so it's going to be faster. It's going to be more fun. Looks more interesting. And I think there's going to be more like diverse metas that kind of come into play. So I'm really looking forward to the season. I hope that you guys are too. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. That is going to wrap up the video today. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative. Catch you next one, guys. Check it out.